Who have been the best players at teams outside of the so-called Big Six? In this video, I'll be making a best 11 of the top performers this season. Beginning with the goalkeeper then, I've got Aston Villa's goalkeeper, EMILIANO Martinez. Impressively this season, Aston Villa have really transformed their defence and Martinez has been a big part of that. Only two teams in the Premier League have conceded less goals than Aston Villa. At the same time though, there has been a lot of shots against their defence and against Martinez. He's had to make 107 saves. As well as that, Martinez has the highest save percentage in the league of 78%. So overall, the Aston Villa defence has been a lot better than it was last season, but there has still been a lot of shots that the goalkeeper has had to save, meaning that he is a huge factor as to where they are in the league right now. Last season they had a few different goalkeepers coming in and out of the team, however Martinez was signed in the summer and Martinez has been the goalkeeper throughout the whole of this season and he's performed really well. So he's the first player into the team, he's the goalkeeper who will sit behind the defence, where we start with Aaron CRESSWELL as the left back. CRESSWELL just couldn't be ignored in my defence. He's the defender with the most assists in the Premier League this season with 7. He's also got the third most key passes for defenders with 45. Liverpool's fullbacks Trent and Robertson are the only players with more key passes than him. The other thing that you get with Aaron CRESSWELL is the quality from set pieces, free kicks or corners, and we can actually see a stat here which backs that up. He's got 5 dead pass goal creating actions, so 5 times he's completed a pass from a free kick or corner and it's led to a goal. He offers a lot in attack and he's a big reason as to why the quality of chances at West Ham are so good. And then keeping on the theme of West Ham fullbacks, on the right hand side I've gone with VLADIMIR COUFAL. Once again, he's got a good number of assists for West Ham this season with 5, and with COUFAL he's more of a well-rounded fullback, influencing the attacking play but also in defence. He's won 64 tackles. Coming from another country into England, playing in the Premier League for the first time, I think he's been a really impressive right back. What we can really take from this is just more proof that the fullbacks in the West Ham team are so important to the way that they play. There's a lot of attacking output that comes through them, but with COUFAL he's also got that extra bit in defence as well. Any other team in the Premier League would also want that. So that's why I went with COUFAL. However, I was also debating over Tariq Lamptey, but he has been out for a lot of the season, and probably the biggest contender to COUFAL was Matty Cash. The reason I chose COUFAL over Cash was just that bit more in attack that he's offered for West Ham this season. With those 5 assists, it's just a bit more than what Matty Cash has been able to offer at Aston Villa. However, they're both great players, both have had brilliant seasons, and I'm sure for a lot of you watching, if you were doing this, Matty Cash would probably be in your best 11. Now we go to the centre-backs. I'm going to kick off with Burnley's centre-back, James Tarkowski. The Burnley team can easily be overlooked when you're making this best 11. However, in defence, they've got a really good defender in James Tarkowski. He's been good in many seasons for Burnley now, and this season has been another. A big strength of his comes in the air. He's won the 4th most aerial duels in the Premier League with 133, and also a win rate of 71% is fantastic compared to Harry Maguire. He's on 76%, so they're similar in this department. So for a team outside of the Big Six, he's a great defender, and over the years there have been many reports that he'll move away from Burnley. Clubs higher in the Premier League have been interested, however a move has never occurred. A good player with another good season that deserves recognition, and that's why he gets into my team. As the other centre-back in this team, I've gone with Leicester City's 2020 summer signing, Wesley Fofana. He's still new to the Premier League, but this season he's really impressed me and a lot of other fans too. I had to debate over him or Ezri Konsa for a younger centre-back that has shined this season. However, I went with Fofana over Konsa due to his quality on the ball and bringing the ball out of the defence. Fofana's progressive distance is 3,800 yards, which ranks him 25th in the Premier League. It's right up there with the best in terms of on-the-ball qualities for a centre-back. Aerially, Fofana and Konsa are identical with 71 aerial duels won, as well as an aerial duel win rate of 61%. So for a younger centre-back in the Premier League, they've both been really impressive. Konsa is in a situation where he's improved on last season and become a first-team regular. Fofana, on the other hand, has just been completely new to Leicester City and the Premier League. He's still 20 years old, and for a first season he has been really impressive. So that is the centre-back sorted and the whole of the defence. We can now move into midfield, where the first person that I'm picking is Declan Rice. He has to go into my best 11 for what he's shown this season, living up to the hype that has surrounded him. He was getting a lot of praise before this season, however in the past year he's really backed it up. He's one of the top interceptors of the ball this season with 58, that is the 4th most in the Premier League. He's become a reliable player for West Ham and a player that can be the centre of all play for the team. Where West Ham Ham look to create out wide, Rice does well in swinging balls out to them. He's great at collecting the ball in a deep position, then striding forward with the ball into the opposition half. So I think his quality is starting to show more and more, and especially now as he gets his place into the England team looking to make an impact at the Euros. In this position as the defensive midfielder, I was also debating whether to go for Basuma. The Brighton midfielder impressed me in that period after lockdown at the end of last season, and then this season he's really been able to kick on, being one of the best tacklers in the Premier League. I think he's only getting better, however for now I have gone with Declan Rice. Next to Declan Rice, I can promise this is the last West Ham player I'm picking, but I couldn't ignore his partner Thomas Soucek. You can't not pick him. After being signed permanently, he's been game changing for West Ham. He's a player who is perfect for David Moyes and he's used him so well. I do wonder if he was playing under another manager, would he still be able to perform at this level and score as many goals as he has, or is it just under David Moyes, who seems to be able to get these players to do so well, like Fellaini? He's definitely got a knack to making these tall central midfielders get up the pitch and score some goals. He's scored 9 this season and he's also won the most aerial duels, and he understands the role that Moyes wants him to play. He's got great instinct to get into the box into areas where he can score. So for this season he has to go in. He can't be ignored with the influence that he's had on the team. West Ham are fighting for the Champions League and Thomas Soucek is a big part of that. In front of that partnership then, in the attacking midfield role, I've gone with Aston Villa's star man Jack Grealish. It's no surprise he's in the team. He was going to be somewhere, and in this best 11 he goes at attacking midfield. This season was again spent at Aston Villa after transfer rumours last season. Nothing came of that, and once again working under Dean Smith, he's been able to work wonders for him. With the second most key passes in the Premier League with 76, that's only after Bruno Fernandes. He's the hub of creativity for Aston Villa, and he could go into any side in the Premier League and continue to do the same. In this formation he sits at attacking midfield, but of course for Villa he plays on the left. Alternatively for England he might play in a more central role with all the play going through him. In a best 11 for teams outside of the Big Six, Jack Grealish is a guaranteed pick. So instead, as the left winger in this best 11, I've gone with Wolves winger Pedro Neto. Let's start off with saying I am devastated for him. He's now got a 6-month injury which will keep him out of the Euros, and I was really interested to see him in that competition. In a Portugal team which looks really good, I think in the whole competition he was going to be one of the players to look out for. And that's because he's been brilliant for Wolves this season with the 5th most key passes in the league, 61. Also with 64 successful dribbles, it's the 7th most. And he's a player with great flair as he runs past players on that left flank. He is so hard to defend against. Also, I've seen some reports around Pedro Neto recently, and he seems to have real ambition to be the best player that he can possibly be. And with this mentality, I can see him going to the very top. Other clubs will definitely be interested in him, however not this summer because of that injury that he's got. Another season at Wolves though will do him good. He's had 5 goals and 5 assists this season, but that could be so much more if he can play alongside a prolific striker or an overall better performing Wolves team. So that's the left winger chosen. We can now pick the right winger in the team, and I've gone with Leeds summer signing RAPHINHA. After joining in 2020, he's been a great addition to their side. He's a player with good pace and great skill, which makes him an exciting player to watch. He scored 6 goals and got 6 assists in the Premier League this season, so he's had a good attacking output, and he's had a lot of fans praising him with how good he's been for Leeds United. His passing is impressive too, with 124 progressive passes. That ranks him 22nd in the Premier League, but it shows his intent to pass forward and move it higher up the pitch into a dangerous position. There has been a little bit of talk over a potential transfer for him this summer. He's only been at Leeds a year though. They'll definitely want to keep him, so I'm not sure if a transfer is realistic. Never write anything off though. So for me, I think he's the right winger outside of the Big Six who has impressed me the most. It means then as the striker in my best 11, I have gone with Everton striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He was really the first striker to come to my mind for this 11. However, Patrick Bamford can also be in the debate. One thing Calvert-Lewin has over Bamford is the conversion rate of 25%, with Bamford on 18%. As well though, and probably the most impressive thing with Calvert-Lewin is the amount of headed goals he's scored. He's got 6 in the Premier League this season, which is the most in the league, and that is above Cavani, who's on 5. His form at the beginning of the season was outstanding with 11 goals in his first 11 games, and that's really what has gotten his tally to where it is now. Everton have then been hurt by injuries, which has really hurt Calvert-Lewin's goal tally. However, he's proven his quality and he'd definitely be in my team. When Everton add depth to the team and don't have to keep relying on James Rodriguez and the rest of their best 11 to be fit, then Calvert-Lewin, I believe, will be more consistent. Comment your outside of the Big Six best 11 for this season. I recommend that you don't miss out on future videos. Subscribe to Route 1 and like the video if you did enjoy.